Book of Genealogies. This is the book of the genealogies of Adam when God created Adam in the likeness of God. He made him. Male and female he created them, and he blessed them and called their name Adam when he created them. Adam lived 130 years, then fathered a son in his likeness after his image and named him Seth. Then the days of Adam after he fathered Seth were 800 years, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all Adam's days that he lived were 930 years, and then he died. Seth lived 105 years, then fathered Enosh. Seth lived 807 years after he fathered Enosh, and he fathered sons and daughters. So all Seth's days were 912 years, and then he died. Enosh lived 90 years, then fathered Kenan. Enosh lived 815 years after he fathered Kenan, and he fathered sons and daughters. So all of Enosh's days were 905 years, and then he died. Kenan lived 70 years, then fathered Mahalalel. Kenan lived 840 years. After he fathered Mahalalel, he fathered sons and daughters. So all of Kenan's days were 910 years, and then he died. Mahalalel lived 65 years, then fathered Jared. Mahalalel lived 830 years after he fathered Jared, and he fathered sons and daughters. They only mention like a few of the children, but there would have been more. So all of Mahalalel's days were 895 years, and then he died. Jared lived 162 years, then fathered Enoch. Jared lived 800 years after he fathered Enoch, and he fathered sons and daughters. So all of Jared's days were 962 years, and then he died. Enoch lived 65 years, then fathered Methuselah. Now Enoch walked with God continually for 300 years after he fathered Methuselah, and he fathered sons and daughters. So all of Enoch's days were 365 years. The reason it's only 365 years is because God took him up. I remember that much, I think. Yep. And Enoch continually walked with God, then he was not there because God took him. Methuselah lived 187 years and fathered Lamech. And Methuselah lived 782 years after he fathered Lamech, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all of Methuselah's days were 969 years, and then he died. Lamech lived 182 years, and he fathered a son, and he named him Noah, saying, "This one will comfort us from our work and from the pain of our hands because of the ground which Adonai cursed." Lamech lived 595 years after he fathered Noah, and he fathered sons and daughters. So all of Lamech's days were 777 years, and then he died. And Noah was 500 years old when he fathered Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Alright, this isn't the last list of names that we have to read if you want to read the entire Bible. The way I read it is with patience. Like I think it's kind of like a test of patience to somebody who reads the Bible. And I'm not really being funny, although it is kind of funny as well. And it's also about respecting your elders. And there's a lot of like story, like I said, in the names, and then there is story in the numbers as well. I don't know if it's really important if these people literally lived, but it is about the power of God that they lived this long. Maybe it's like prophecy, because that is actually something that is in the book of Enoch, that there is this fragrant tree that I personally believe in, that God will give to his holy ones. It's kind of interesting to think about things as well. Like, if this happened like thousands and thousands of years ago, if you're the creator, that it would be the time when you sent these people in to an earth that you created, Like there would have been like other human beings living back then already. How would they know if you sent how would they know if you sent like humans that are blessed in this way that they could live almost 1,000 years? That would be the time to do it, you know, before cameras. But I don't know, man, it's kind of funny. I don't know if there's much, you know, reason to think about things. Rather, you know, look toward the future. Let's read the Genesis 6 chapter as well. Evil inclination of all humanity. Now, when humankind began to multiply on the face of the ground and daughters were born to them, then the sons of God saw that the daughters of men were good, and they took for themselves wives, and they chose. So these are the angels, the sons of God, that fell. I do have a theory why this happened. It's because they looked at the daughters as worshippers. I think that might be it. Like they were looking for men and that's the thing that like lured them in. Like it is a spiritual kind of seduction that it had to have been for the sons of God to fall for these women. I'm pretty sure. But they only had the reprobate mystery given to them, these sons of God. They wanted to be worshippers instead of worshippers of the one who is holy. And because of this, they became something that was degenerate. Anyway, then Adonai said, "My spirit will not remain with humankind forever, since they are flesh, so their days will be 120 years. So this is the part where the power of God leaves these people, and their days are cut short. There's no reason for them to live longer. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days, and also afterward. Whenever the sons of God came to the daughters of men and gave birth to them, those were the mighty men of old, men of renown. Then Adonai saw that the wickedness of humankind was great on the earth, and that every inclination of the thoughts of their heart was only evil all the time. So Adonai regretted that he had made humankind on the earth, and his heart was deeply pained. So Adonai said, I will wipe out humankind whom I have created from the face of the ground, from humankind to livestock, crawling things and the flying creatures of the sky, because I regret that I made them. But Noah found favor in Adonai's eyes. These are the genealogies of Noah. Noah was a righteous man, he was blameless among his generation. Noah continually walked with God. Noah fathered 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Now the earth was ruined before God, and the earth was filled with violence. God saw the earth, and behold, it was ruined, because all flesh had corrupted their way upon the earth. So, here comes the building of the ark and the flood. Now, the way I read this is, this didn't happen literally. God just needed somebody who is wise to write this story, that the flood happened, because this is the type of thing that people understood when this story was written. This is an example of a clever writer. Be wise like the serpent and innocent like the dove. And what that means is, this story is actually, this thing that's about to happen is a prophecy about the future. And Christ is the ark, and the flood is the kind of like the dragon and the beast. Whoever gets that mark on them, it's like they have drowned. So I read this like in a future sense. This story that is about to begin. Instructions for the ark. Then God said to Noah, the end of all flesh is coming before me, for the earth is filled with violence because of them. Behold, I am about to bring ruin upon them along with the land. So this is talking about the Babylon that we live in today. It's because of the evil of it. The spiritual sickness, the worship of the flesh, of the mortal man, denying the truth and all the horrible consequences of it. It's about life being unfulfilling. It's about unrighteousness. It's about leaders who love darkness being elected because the people who vote also love the works of darkness. Make for yourself an ark of gopher wood. You shall make the ark with compartments and smear pitch on it, both inside and out. Now this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark 300 cubits, its breadth 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. I know somebody, like, I think in the United States, built this ark and turned it into some kind of a, I don't know, museum or a amusement park or something. Ay. You shall make a roof for the ark, and you shall finish it within a cubit from the top. You shall put the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it lower, second, and third stories. Now I am about to bring the flood, waters upon the land, to destroy all flesh, in which is the spirit of life from under the sky. Everything that is on the land will perish. This is about nothing being heard in Babylon again. It's the death of the evil spirit, the harlot of Babylon, the conquest of the beast, the imprisonment of the father of lies, godlessness. That's what this is about. But I will establish my covenant with you, so you shall come into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives with you. And this is about the people who will have to endure the tribulation that is to come. Christ is your salvation. God is your salvation through Christ. Also of every living thing, of all flesh, you shall bring 2 of everything, male and female, into the ark to keep alive with you. Of the flying creatures according to their kind, of the livestock according to their kind, of all the crawling creatures of the ground according to their kind. 2 of every will come to you to keep them alive. So this is another reason why the world of men has to end, because of animals. They're part of creation. I just woke up today and I literally read that a river in Africa was just killed because some toxic sludge from a Chinese mining company just seeped into the earth, into the river. God so loved the world, and that includes animals, little creatures. That's why they are in the Bible. They deserve better gardeners, better people to take care of them. As for you, take for yourself every kind of edible food and gather it to yourself. It will be food for you and for them. So Noah did according to all that God commanded him. He did so exactly. He followed the commandments. He was obedient. Okay, let's continue next time.